Everyone keeps asking me why I didn't evacuate with the American embassy. So today I will talk about why. It might shock you. First of all, if you're new to the channel, I'm Lakshmi. Welcome. I'm here in the city of El Obeid in Sudan. I am a full-time traveler. I like to go to adventurous destinations, and Sudan is a place that I've wanted to go to for 10 years. And I ended up here during a very, very interesting time. If you're wondering where I'm talking to you from, I'm at this lovely little house with a wonderful family here. This is the backyard. There's bunnies back here. Hello. Hi. There's Khadija. I'm doing a tour. Yeah. There's no one here. And this is our room. It's kind of a mess, sorry. Okay, back to the story. If you've been following the news or this channel, you might already know that on April 15th, all hell broke loose in the capital city of Sudan.
Heavy fighting continues for a fourth straight day in the capital, Khartoum, this morning.
I was staying at an Airbnb in Sahafa here in Khartoum, and I was hosting my friend, Mahin. He's also a traveler who goes to weird places, and we woke up to the sounds of gunshots and military jets and shelling, artillery fire, huge plumes of smoke in the air. It was absolutely insane. Many people urged me to reach out to the American embassy, so I did that. I would like to say that I did not intend to use evacuation resources if I could help it, but I figured just in case I should alert the authorities. So I sent them an email on the 16th and said, hey guys, I'm here, this is my number, this is where I'm staying, I may need assistance. I got an automated email that said this: thanks for writing us. It may take us 2 business days to reply. Do not send duplicate emails. It may take us even longer to reply. And they were correct. It took them 2 business days to reply with this incredibly generic email that just said, we can't do shit. The embassy is aware of gunfire in Khartoum and surrounding areas. We urge you to shelter in place. They said due to the uncertain security situation, there would be no US government coordinated evacuation of US citizens. They asked if I planned to leave Sudan and if I may be in need of assistance. And I replied to the email with a yes, and I gave them my information. On the 21st, I received an email from the task force team saying that they're not coordinating an evacuation yet and to shelter in place and do not travel to the US embassy. They cannot provide any services. After this email explicitly telling us not to go to the embassy, they evacuated the embassy staff. They airlifted them out in the middle of the night. The diplomats were brought to safety. I could hear the sounds of civilian type of aircraft like helicopters, and there was a lull in the firing, and I thought, okay, the embassy is for sure being evacuated. And I saw the reports the next day on the news that it had been evacuated, but no email from the embassy until 2 days later on the 24th saying that embassy has suspended its operations. During this time, other countries were trying to coordinate evacuations. The Indian embassy had created a spreadsheet with everyone's information and was trying to put people in touch with each other who were stranded in the city, trying to coordinate buses into Khartoum. There were also military flights running out of Wadi Saidna, the military airport north of Omdurman. On the night that the US embassy was evacuated, there was an internet blackout. Sudani network, the most popular and widespread one, was no longer functional, and we could barely send messages to each other. At this point in time, I had lost power, had no running water, was running very low on food, could not get cash from anywhere, so I had like $20, and the fighting was intensifying. Every single ceasefire had failed miserably. My street, which had remained fairly quiet, we were extremely close to the area of fighting, but just outside of it, thankfully. But now crossfire was spilling onto our street, and it didn't really feel safe. the situation was getting dire. Sheltering in place wasn't really possible after many days because you need to eat and drink. So me and 2 other friends hitchhiked out of the city. While I do prefer to self-evacuate, even if I wanted to use the American Embassy's resources, I don't think I could have because it was useless. So after we fled Khartoum refugee style, I got a couple of more emails from the embassy in like the middle of the night, one at 3:30 a.m. and another at 2:30 a.m. saying that there were potential evacuation opportunity at Wadi Saidna, the military airport north of Omdurman. So this is like maybe an hour from areas in Khartoum. And there was a flight going to an unknown third country. There would be possible seats, no guarantee of seats, and you must get there by 8 a.m. What? I was like, wait, you expect me to travel in the middle of the night through the front lines of a war zone for a flight that I may not even have space for me? And it said, oh, to reply to the email immediately, because everybody is just sitting watching their email at 3:30 in the morning. Not to mention that there was an internet blackout on the 22nd and many people couldn't access network. I had provided my local number, but no one had ever called me. There was also no information about onward travel, so if you got to this unknown third country, whatever it may be, I don't know if there were services provided to bring you back home. Someone just brought some chickens here. Okay, so back to the story. Now on the 28th, they sent an email saying that there would be another US convoy evacuating US citizens from Khartoum. So they would be sending a car. The email arrived at 9:30 and it said you needed to respond by 10:45 p.m. and the convoy would be leaving possibly in the morning. I think I read that email like in the morning because I had slept. And I was 4 hours away from Khartoum at that point and there was like no warning notice. And it said only the people that reply in time would be given further information. I also received several emails about ships leaving from Port Sudan, but they were so vague and missing crucial information, like this one that said there are ships leaving. It didn't give a time or a schedule, and it said you may be required to pay. They didn't have a price, and mind you, no one can get cash out at this time, so it's like very, very difficult. The latest email said that the ship cost $533, 320,000 Sudanese pounds. I think I had like 10,000 Sudanese pounds. Just not possible. In conclusion, I was not very impressed by the American Embassy's response to what happened in Khartoum, and I'm very, very curious to hear what y'all think. Leave a comment and tell me if you would also be frustrated or if I expected too much. I think these guys agree with me. They are not happy with the US Embassy. All right, thank you for watching, and I hope to get out another video soon. I don't know when, because tomorrow we're going to head to Gadaref and make our way to the Ethiopian border. Goodbye and wish you luck.